say, I support the Tav HaYosher on one side. You can just give this to a manager, an owner, even a waiter in the restaurant that you go to, and say, please give this to your manager, to your owner. If it's a restaurant that already has the Tav, just like here, Cafe 76, you can write a thank you on it. If it doesn't yet have the Tav, just say, look, it's got the contact information on the back, they know who to contact, and say to someone that you support, that you care for. So that's one. The second is to become more involved. And now I actually want to turn your attention to this map we have in the back of the room. You can also twist around. See a few stickers. These are where the Tav currently is. Chicago over here, Maryland, Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. I want you to ask you all to do is think about places where you have connections, where you're from. Maybe you're from Dallas, maybe you're from Los Angeles, maybe down in Miami, in Florida. Think about where you're from and where you have connections. Maybe you know a rabbi there, maybe you have a friend who moved there. And I'm going to ask you now to come up, sort of one by one, and just put a sticker in a place where you think you'd be willing to reach out to. Through there, we'll also give you a pen and a card, and you can write down your name and your email. And we're here to support you all the way, and just to make that connection, to start speaking out about the Tav. So I want to ask, really, where you're from. If you want to reach out, we've got stickers right here. Please step up and put a sticker right on the map. Yeah, and say your name and say where you're putting the sticker.
I'm Leah. I'm from Massachusetts, and I eat at Tom China, Chinese restaurants there, and I would like them to have the Tav.
Great.
I do one by proxy from here.
Yeah, please. Say your name. Try your name.
All right.
I'm Shawnee, and I'm from Rochester, and we have 3 kosher restaurants all next to each other in New Rochelle. I don't know if there's been one for New Rochelle.
Let's say that. Great. Shawnee. Who else? Anyone here know someone? Yeah, there you go.
I'm Nati, and we run an organization called the Jewish Farm School. We're working with a new camp called Eden Village Camp. And today at the Bigrim office, Ari suggested that the kitchen at Eden Village Camp take on the Tav HaYosher symbol, which I think shouldn't be a problem. I think we'll meet those standards. So I'm excited to try to make that connection. And that's in just about an hour and a half north of here in the Hudson Valley.
So there are about 20 restaurants in Dallas, 20 kosher restaurants. Does anybody know or have a connection to Dallas? What about Los Angeles? There are 10s there. We also have Miami. I think about 24 or so restaurants down in Miami. Is anyone connected to Florida, to Miami? Let's see where else is a good kosher community. Atlanta also, about 25, 30 restaurants. Anybody here connected to Atlanta? I have a friend in Atlanta they want to reach out to. So I'm going to put a sticker down. I've got a close friend I worked with last year, Naveed Robkin, who's doing a 7-year double PhD there. So
The purple snake down. Actually switching to a 3-year master. It'll still take a while.
Geography lesson for you, Donnie.
Top of the purple snake.
actually, we're looking for the exact city. There you go. Sorry.
So something I don't admit often when I'm up in the Yankee States is that I actually did my bachelor's down at the University of Texas in Austin. And when I came down there, the war in Iraq broke out towards the end of college, and they had a shirt that all the Texans would wear. You know, because France came out against the war, they had a shirt that they would wear and would say, "Texas is bigger than France." Their motto is everything is bigger and better. And so I want to go back to my Texan brethren and sisterin, and get them in Houston. Because Rabbi Barry Gelman, anyone know Rabbi Barry Gelman? He's Rabbi in Houston. And so my goal will be to reach out to him and try to get the Texans to sign on to work with us.
Well, Shmuley. All right, do you have index cards? All right, Weiss. So, does anyone else have a state they want to reach out to here?
I'm going out.
All right.
Okay, so the truth is I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and we have no kosher restaurants, but we have 2 kosher delis, kind of, so I'll get them.
All right.
We should also acknowledge that there's a country that I was born in, just north of these states, and that's also fair game.
Canada is fair, as is Mexico.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Really?
I have thought of this also. When you guys first started, there was a lot of give and take in the Orthodox community with the more modern Orthodox, say, liberal-minded left-wingers being more interested in what you're doing, while directly the so-called Haredi world were vigorously opposed to you and to the other organizations that were trying to establish ethical treatment of workers. Do you find out that you're becoming more established that Haredi rabbis and organizations and communities are more interested in hearing this? Have you tried, for instance, Flatbush or Bar Harbor?
Great.
I'm not offering
Right.
I'm not part of that world. I'm curious to know whether they have reached out to you or have you reached out to them, and if you're finding now that it's becoming more of an establishment, whether they are becoming more positively interested or they still vociferously opposed to anything.
I'd say you can look at the most recent article about this in Jewish Forward this week about the Tav HaYosher, and there's no negative comments whatsoever.
I mean, if you go to the blogs, you see certain.
Right, for sure. We've also seen, right, the RCA issued standards, not say directly in response to us. And the good also, I think, has come out really, to a large extent, neutral to in favor of overall having positive standards like this. So we're not encountering any negativity at all.
I would just like to add that we've had very constructive conversations with the heads of the major kashrut organizations. So we're in conversation with them as well, and there's a recognition that they do kashrut and we do something similar but distinct, which is yashrut. And it goes back to a 1940 article by Rabbi Breuer, who said that we should not only be kosher, but we should be yosher as well.
I want to say,
I have a question as well. If you're building very good rapport with some of these restaurants, I'm wondering if there's any thinking about taking it one step deeper with these existing restaurants in terms of, say, the ethical treatment of the workers on the farms where the food is grown and the companies that they purchase the food from.
that's great. I think our purview is something we're always in discussion about. But right now we're trying to set up really strong infrastructure for the goals, these particular goals that we have, and the future, who knows. And that also brings me to one other point, which is that we've expanded quite rapidly, and thank God we have a lot of compliance officers who go to visit these restaurants and check up to make sure that they meet our standards. But as we continue to expand, we need that infrastructure to expand as well. And so we're really looking for volunteers right here in New York to be compliance officers, which is really not so hard. A couple of hours a month, just go visit a restaurant. We've got really a great training program. You'll be very comfortable by the time you're going to a restaurant. That's one. And number two is also partnership builders. People who can go into restaurants and really advocate strongly for them to join the Tav. So please come talk to myself, Shmuley, Ari, Michal, Shlomi. All of us are here to be spoken to.
With that, I want to conclude. I know it's late already, and I want to pass around these cards. Please consider taking 20 or 30 for your pocket or for your wallet, so whenever you pass a kosher place, you just drop one on the table. It means so much that you all came out tonight. Everyone's working hard. If you have questions or comments to share, please stay after. And our hope is that this is really a historical movement at the turn of, entering the 21st century, of showing what's possible in the Orthodox community around social justice activism, to show what success can look like when we really collaborate to say that millions and millions of dollars are spent on hashgacha. We have hashgacha on every product in the world, right? You walk in the supermarket, everything has hashgacha, and so few dollars are spent on ethical transparency in the Jewish community. So this is an experiment to say, what does it look like to succeed on this, and then how does it expand to the next level? So I really want to conclude there's really interesting people in the room. If you can stay a couple minutes and meet people, it'd be really wonderful. And thank you. Really to everyone. We're going to hear from Noam tonight, who is the owner of Cafe 76, but I think he just ran upstairs. You might have just lost him. Is he there right there? Okay, so maybe he'll pop in later. But really, thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight.